with my wife on this thing.
I know. I was sad she wasn't here today.
She may be flying in here at some point. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I love it. Well, good morning, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Well, good morning. We'll let. Are we already live on mine?
We are, but I forgot to shut the door. So I'm
You
not
did.
gonna be on camera for a second.
Well, see, this is what happens when you just roll, and we don't script.
Yeah.
We just kind of roll.
Keep it casual.
And then I got my music playing, so hopefully you like the music. Hey, by the
I
way,
like it.
you guys need to go download my playlist. You go download my playlist. It's on Apple Music. You can go to Apple Music and search 5626 Daily. So that's my vlog, right? 5626 Daily is my vlog that we put out, and it's also my playlist. So go
What's on your
search that on
playlist?
Apple Music or Spotify, and you can download it. It's a lot of music that inspires me
Okay.
for what we're doing with regards to our vlogs
Okay.
and business. It's not like, because I listen to all kinds of music. I mean, it'll be, I go from rap to Sinatra to Metallica to AC/DC to
Right, my
to
kind of guy, yeah.
to indie rock. I mean, just country rock. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Any Britney
everything, right?
Spears?
That's no. I'm not. I
I'm
don't go
kidding.
Britney, but I'll go Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Cardi B. I mean, I'll go. I mean, in a lot of different
Go
directions.
pop? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Big pop fan. But maybe just some of the older stuff that she put out.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus or whatever her name
Okay.
is. With the wrecking ball. I don't know about that one, but
I'm big into Texas country.
so I'm huge into Texas country.
I love a man with a guitar. And a good, strong vocal.
And I would
yeah.
prefer to have it in the back 40 or back 20 with a bonfire and somebody out there playing. We did that with Robert Earl King.
Okay.
So I go back, like, I'm older than you, so
Yeah.
listen to a lot of Robert Earl, a lot of Corey Morrow, just all Texas country scene guys back in the day.
Charlie Robinson.
Charlie Robinson. It's just good music.
Love it.
Good music. I like a little bluegrass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my brother's in, I kind of got that early on, and then my brother got into the Texas country music scene.
Okay.
And he is still in the music industry, actually now in Nashville, though. He manages bands. So he kind of became big time bro.
Oh,
Right. So if I need something, I call my brother and,
Yeah.
hey, I need tickets.
So I grew up here in Texas, in Plano, until about my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And Plano is very different from the rest of Texas.
Yes.
Right? And so when I moved to California, everybody asked me if I rode a horse to school. Seriously.
I get it.
And I got immersed in the California culture. I was in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then when I moved back to Texas, when I was about 25, I met a man from Fort Worth. And it changed my world.
Okay,
And he was
yeah.
about wearing his cowboy boots and his Texas country music and dive bars, and really opened my eyes to actually what really Texas is.
When my wife met me, I was in a cowboy hat, cowboy boots.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, no, this is a good story. So hey, on this jam session, Sydney waits, stops by.
Hey!
All right, we got this, and I know the episode number, Brandon. So you don't have to tell me. It's the 66th episode.
66th episode?
Yes, of the
I
Bob
love
Mortgage
it.
Jam session. So you're number 66.
That's a good number.
It's a great number.
Love it.
Yes, I mean we have some good ones coming up. This is going to be the best, and this is like Christmas right here, guys. I mean,
We
I
planned
know
this, yeah.
pre-Christmas, pre-Thanksgiving, but red and green, man. We're already in the festive mode.
I love it. I
We
want to wear
are.
my power color today.
And you have this like inspired shirt.
Yeah, it's all about mindset, right? So I wanted to come in with the right mindset.
This is going to be, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is going to be great because mindset. So
Yeah.
this, you know what this one's about, right? This jam session is all about like this. I know this camera over here knows all about
These
you.
are
but
my peoples over
we're going
here.
to find some things that they don't even know.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask me questions.
These
We got
cameras
lots.
over here, hopefully we're going to be able to connect them and you together. And really, I mean, this is what I do these for, is because I want people to know more about you. I have people in these seats because I'm inspired by them, or we connect in some way. and I want to learn more about where they are, their journey, what they're doing today, and what their plans are. And hopefully it's a way for other people to connect with you, and maybe 6 months, 12
Yeah.
months down the road, I get these emails, oh my God, thanks for introducing me to Sydney. She's awesome. This is how she's changed my life.
Love it.
And so that's kind of what we're going to do.
Great.
Okay, so from
I'm excited.
Yeah, thank
Let's
you.
inspire.
Let's inspire. So from a 30,000 foot view, really quickly,
Okay.
just quick overview of who you are.
Quick overview. Gosh, I started in the real estate business about 5 years ago as
Okay.
a solo agent. But I come from a little bit of a different background. My parents were real estate agents. I have an aunt. If she's watching, I would love it if
What's
she's
up, Aunt?
watching. What's up, Alicia? She's been a rock star realtor for decades, so she
Oh,
was
wow.
my biggest inspiration in real estate.
Okay.
And, when I was about 18, I went and talked to her and I said, hey, I want to do what you do. And she
So
said,
this was 5 years ago?
yeah. I'm not going to say how many years ago. 20
No,
plus.
no,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, and she said, Sydney, I love you and you are a gifted, talented individual, but I don't think you're ready.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think you're ready.
I don't think you're ready. It was a big blow to me.
Uh-huh.
Right? But once you get to know me, you'll know that I'm a bit of a bulldog and I don't take no.
You're a bit of a bulldog, and you have bulldogs.
And I have a bulldog.
And
English
you have a
bulldog named
bulldog.
Bull.
There you go.
Yeah, it's my baby. So she said, it's not because you don't have the ability.
Uh-huh.
It's because you don't have the life experience. She said, I want you to go live life. I want you to focus on your education. I want you to focus on building out your business skills and just get some life experience. Go buy a property.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
And I listened to her. I went and I got 15 years of work experience, business experience. I went to school and I grew up. I was a big party girl though. Let's take back though. So at 18,
Right.
I was a big party girl.
Okay.
And I, too much of a party girl probably. I still love a party,
Right,
right?
yeah,
But, I did the club scene. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I was a kid. I was 18.
Right.
Honestly, I think that was the best advice she could have given me.
That's awesome that
She
you
was-
recognize that.
She was honest with me,
Right.
and she knew where I needed to be. She knew me enough and loved me enough to want to set me up on a path to success, right?
Like it.
So about a year before I got my license, I started assisting my parents in their real estate business.
Okay.
And I got some more life experience, and I got
Uh-huh.
to watch and observe from them and learn some of the admin technical sides of it.
Uh-huh.
So once I got my real estate license, I was ready. And people were calling me Ricky, hey Ricky, oh Ricky, and I hated that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to sell more than you. I know I just got my license last month, but I'm going to sell more real estate than you. I took it as a personal challenge.
Right.
And I did. I did really well my first year, and each year I doubled my business. So
You got
that's
in.
kind of, I was on a mission.
Right. And
Yeah.
you found. Now, what were you doing, like corporate world? Like, what was the corporate world, that job that you had?
Yeah, so it wasn't corporate sitting in a
Okay.
cubicle, because I
Okay.
don't do well in boxes. Here's the box, here's me.
Right.
I was in the beauty business, the cosmetics industry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I lived in Hollywood, right, in California.
Woo!
So I was
California
in
girl
San Francisco,
here. Yep,
turned
yep,
18, moved to Hollywood, lived in LA, all that good stuff. And I got into doing makeup for the film industry and for Hollywood, music videos and whatnot.
Brandon tells me I need some makeup. I get a little shiny sometimes, is what he says. So we may have to have a little studio in here.
Yeah, so, that I ended up getting recruited by someone to come work at a department store.
Uh-huh.
And I said, why not? So I did makeup, I worked at a department store, and quickly I started getting promoted within that world.
Oh, wow.
And I became a counter manager and a business manager, eventually became to where I was traveling nationally, and I was setting up events for my departments, and I was helping build businesses, and those skills,
Yeah.
the skill of the hustle,
Mm-hmm.
really translated. So dealing with, employees and scheduling events. So when business is down, right, we've got to, what can we do as a brand to build our business? And my solution for that was to host events. out of the box events.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I built my reputation in the beauty business. So eventually I got tired of that though, because 15 years later, I've kind of sat back and I said, I think I'm ready for real estate. And I called my aunt and she said, yeah, you're totally ready for real estate.
So she set you down the path to say, look, go get some life experiences.
Yeah.
You trusted that. So it wasn't necessarily, you didn't look at that as discouragement.
No.
You look at that as a little bit of a wisdom.
I did for a minute.
Well, yeah, but there was some wisdom there that
Yeah.
said, look, I think you could better serve the people in real estate if you go get some real life experiences. It's like those 22-year-old life coaches right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a life coach at 22 years old. Yeah, you're just selling me shit, right? Is what happens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you went and got some experiences.
Sure.
You came back. Now, what did you take from that and implement into real estate to set you apart from all those that called you rookie and, you some young person? Like, how did you do this?
Gosh, just drive. I think it was something that came in from me. It was my mindset that nobody was going to tell me that I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I knew that I had some wins and I had some great successes in my previous career. And I knew in my mind that I could translate that to whatever business I went into.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me.
I learned
Yep.
from my previous careers effective scheduling, the art of communication, how to brand yourself, how to build a business, and I simply translated those skills over to real estate. Also, I bought my first property at 24 years old.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from that.
Primary or investment?
Primary. It was
Primary.
a condo in Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was right when I moved from California. I think
Okay.
I was 25.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from that because that property didn't go so well.
Okay. Well, there you go. You learn. Sometimes you learn in the desert, right, guys?
Again,
right.
I'm just like, I'm going to do it. Why rent? I'm going to buy a property. So I bought a property, but this was when the market was crashing. And I had some life challenges. I ended up becoming a mother for the first time, and some of my priorities
Shifted.
changed a little bit, and I needed
Yep.
some support, and I ended up foreclosing on that property. Bomb,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it
I think
happens.
success comes from a place of pain, and that was a very painful time in my life.
So how did you take that? Because I mean, and this is, and I appreciate you bringing that up. This is stuff that people will learn from, and this is the big part of what these jam sessions are about: connecting with you, but learning from our experiences. Because I've had similar type things go through my business and the challenges that we go through, and a lot of it's, I've documented a lot of those things. But what did you learn from that, and how do you take those real life experiences forward in talking with either clients that are buying or selling a house, agents that are doing business? How do you use that to benefit more people?
Gosh, that scenario really was a true learning experience for me, and I didn't necessarily learn in the moment.
Yeah.
In the moment, I was angry,
Okay.
right? But I used that anger and that confusion to go educate myself.
Okay.
Say, why did this happen?
Right.
Right? So for that property, I actually tried to sell it,
Uh-huh.
but we had 3 buyers under contract, and it never closed,
Okay.
right? But my mortgage was with Countrywide.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, big Countrywide. Too
Remember
big to
that
fail.
time, right? And Countrywide, shortly after this, went under, and ended up winning a lawsuit about it, and I won some substantial money because of that, because my case was actually put in this lawsuit.
Oh, wow.
So for me in that scenario, it was like, I found all the negative things that I had done, but really it wasn't something that I could control because Countrywide was not playing fairly.
Sure.
Right? And so I learned how important it is to do your due diligence
Okay.
and to not necessarily 100% trust what's always being told to you. If
Yeah.
something doesn't feel right in your gut, to go and research it.
So trust and verify.
Trust and verify.
Trust,
Yeah.
because you got to trust. I mean, there has to be trust, and we talk about trust. Like, I do this with my kids or with my staff and team and stuff like that. Look, trust is not earned.
No.
I completely 100% give trust. You lose trust.
I trusted my real estate agent.
Well, yeah.
But it turns out my listing was his first listing ever.
And that's going to happen. And so it's about trusting right? Then verifying everything after that, that you're really trusting for, you're looking at.
Yeah.
But the thing that you mentioned before that was, about mindset. So there's a lot of things that you had to take from that and to overcome,
Sure.
whether it's that particular moment, right? Because guys, we all have moments that can bring us to our knees and make us cry. But then there's
Yeah.
going to be that next moment right after that you have, that you either go down the rabbit hole or you really look at that opportunity as something to say, look, I can restart. I can overcome anything
Sure.
in life, and a lot of it we can take this a lot of different directions. But I want to just keep on the mindset piece because I'm a big mind guy, right?
Sure.
This is where I
It's all
always
about
point to.
mindset.
It's all about mindset. I don't worry about what my
An attitude.
competition is. I don't have competition. It's only between my two ears is where my competition lies. So help me understand like your mindset and what you do. If there's anything particular that you do daily to start your day off, to get in the right frame of mind, to continue that, where do you draw this from and what do you do?
I think it's all about your why.
Okay.
Right, so I learned during my low point, why am I doing this? Why am I pushing forward? And I'm a mother,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time I was a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be an inspiration for her.
Wow.
Right, so I am a petite woman, and I've been told I look young for my age, and I felt like I was always demeaned for that.
Interesting.
Talked, less, and I
Mhm.
never wanted my daughter to feel like that. So I
Mhm.
wanted to set a really good example of strength,
Yeah.
and success, and
Mhm.
passion, and work ethic for my children. Now I have 2 children,
Love
right?
that. Yep.
And
Yep.
I married a man who's equally yoked to me in that because he matches those values. So I
Mhm.
discovered my why. So my why and my motivation and my mindset for success goes back to every day reminding myself, why am I doing this? What are my goals? So
Mhm.
every day I look at my goals,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So there's the big picture of my mental goals, my emotional goals, my 10-year plan, right?
Right.
But my daily is in the morning seeing my beautiful children,
Mm-hmm.
sending them off to school,
Right.
and then looking at my numbers
Uh-huh.
and my metrics that I'm hitting for the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so business planning is a huge part of my world, in my
Mhm.
life, and the business planning helps me fixate my mindset where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Guys, one thing
Drives
she
me.
didn't even say is the money, the dollars.
No.
And I think that's important for you guys to wrap your head around is, straight commission individuals, right? It has nothing to do with the why being the money, because when you place your why or the outcome tied to the dollar, you do a disservice to all of those that you can truly impact. And I think that the most successful ones in our space, at least, and I could probably just do a general statement and say any industry for that matter that has straight commission individuals, they will place their why and measure their success on the sheer volume and number of people they can impact, their
Sure.
other people's lives, right? It's how many more people can I help reach their goals
Yeah.
to ultimately help me reach my goal.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting because I'll ask it and I want to see if people bring up the dollar.
No,
And I'll
never.
tell you, and you may have learned that early on. I didn't. I wasn't smart enough to learn that early on. I put the why and everything on the dollar in the very beginning. I've been doing this, guys, this for 22 years. And it was really about, I measured success on how much I could make.
Sure.
And that's just a losing game. And I'm very competitive, and I document a lot in sports and all this kind of stuff. And you always measure your success in that based on wins and losses. And playing baseball, like I did, you're never going to have a batting average of 1,000, right? You're never going to get a hit every single time. So there's going to be those times when you don't get a hit. And you have to look at those moments as things that you can learn from, so the next time you get up, you get the hit. So if you're batting 300, 333, you're in the Hall of Fame. Well, that just doesn't mean you succeeded 100% of the
Right.
time. So with these types of deposits, with money, you put deposits
Yeah.
and you have credits and everything, you're just never going to win, because there's always going to be that stuff going on.
Sure.
And so I've really changed my why over the 22 years, just really measuring it based on the number of lives I can impact.
Yeah. I had one of my mentors and coaches, and I wish I could see my phone to see if he's watching.
What's up?
He gave me a homework assignment,
Uh-huh.
and his homework assignment was to write a eulogy for
Ah.
myself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was in a place where I was feeling like I need something next. What's my next position in life that
Sure.
I'm going to go,
Mhm.
right? And he said the best way to find what you're doing next is to help figure out where you want to end up.
Okay.
And not necessarily financially or
Right.
the location or the specific job. What do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to look like? And I sat and I wrote this eulogy, and so I chose who was going to write it. It was my best friend Monica, and and I wrote what I wanted her to say about me, and that really helped me. It took me several hours. I had to sit and really think about it. How do I want people to perceive me in the
Yep.
world, and as a parent, as a friend, and in my business?
Mhm.
And what I came down to is I wanted people to see me as someone who served them,
Mhm.
and as a leader, and someone who maybe possibly inspired them.
So go write a eulogy, guys, is what I'm
So
hearing
write
you
a
say.
eulogy. Think about it. It's harder than it seems.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
haven't done it. I mean, I
Yeah.
would imagine it'd be very, very difficult.
And what are they
for
going
me.
to say about you?
Uh-huh.
If you died tomorrow,
Right.
how would people remember you? Would they remember you as being greedy or money
Sure.
hungry or stressed or struggling? Or would they remember you as being happy, successful, kind, generous?
Mhm.
So, fun. Try it.
I
Share it with me. Email it to me later.
Well, it'll take me a while.
I'll email you mine.
That's an interesting, and
Yeah.
shout out to the coach that had you do that.
Yeah.
That's a great way to really put things in perspective and set you on the path to where you ultimately want to end up. And I think that's that's really good.
Sure. Yeah, I was teetering on what I thought I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
But again, it's, our minds get in the way. I was comfortable in this one lane. But there was a part of me that was putting feelers out. Like, I just feel like there's something different.
Mhm.
And once I wrote that eulogy, it put me on that path. I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm
Mhm.
going to do everything I need to do to make that next goal happen. And that is what actually set me on the path and transitioned me into a position of leadership within JP & Associates.
So let's talk about
Yeah.
that, because you have transitioned, right? I mean, you real estate, you understand building teams. You've
Sure.
done that. So I do want to talk about that, because we have a lot of real estate agents that also watch, and I think that would benefit them,
Sure.
right? Because you're big into systems and process and
Love it.
technology and stuff. But you do have a leadership role within JP & Associates,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really all designed around business development, education.
Giving
So-
back, serving.
Okay, so just kind of high level on that really quick, so we can get into the specifics.
Sure.
Now, you can kind of tout JP and Associates if you want. I mean, that's
I'll
obviously
give them
what
a plug.
you do.
That's how I work for
Yeah.
JP & Associates Realtors.
Yeah.
The best brokerage in town, right?
Well,
I really do feel passionate that what we're doing is we're making waves in the real estate business.
Okay.
And even before I came to the brokerage, I sought them out. I wasn't recruited. They didn't call me. I called them and I said, hey, you guys are doing something different.
mm-hmm.
And I want to know more about it. And I think I may want to be a part of it.
So a couple of quick just facts, right?
Facts.
So just I pulled this. So top 1% of all residential brokerages in the United States.
Yeah.
$2 billion in sales in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Number 1 in growth in DFW.
You want to know a fun fact, though?
Give me a fun fact.
We've only been around 7 years.
7 years.
So we went from this to this in 7 years because of word of mouth, because of our productivity standards, because of our service in the community and the education that we provide to our agents and partners in the business.
So and right now, so in that 7 years, you've gone from 0 agents to
Over
over
13.
1,300.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's some significant growth.
Yeah, JP had this mission to do things differently.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's about mindset, right? And your number one limiter is your mind. And
100%.
any, sane person or average person would have said, this would be really cool, and then they talk themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But JP didn't do that. He said, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so inspirational to me, and I think that we can all do that in our businesses from no matter what business you're in.
Sure.
Is to set that goal and to not make yourself stop.
Your only limiting factor is you.
Yeah, he
That's-
said, I've got this great idea, and it just caught on. And every month we're growing, by 50 to 100 agents, and they're flocking to us.
Right.
And it's because we're doing something different. We're offering value.
So, okay, but a lot of people can talk about value.
Sure.
Okay, I get the same thing in my industry. Like, oh, look, come work for this company. We have great rates. We have awesome turn times. We have great service. We communicate well, blah, 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 right? It's all the same thing. So you got to really kind of trust and verify, get into the details.
Yeah.
So what really is making you guys different? What's making you different? Give me some good stuff.
Yeah, so what's making us different is, I think, our productivity standards. So we want to associate with the best of the best.
Okay.
So we don't just hire anybody.
Okay.
We go through our interview process, and then we require them to sell real estate. We don't have those that just hang their license, and this is what happens.
I
They just
get
get their
it.
real estate license, and they hang their license, and maybe they sell 1 or 2 deals a year.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
those transactions are super messy
Uh-huh.
because they're out of practice, right? So we make sure that our agents are current, they're up to date, they're knowledgeable on technology, because our technology platforms and systems are hugely valuable. And we make sure that they're really good, strong agents. Plus, we're giving back to our community. We've donated over $200,000 this year to local charities,
Mhm.
and we're always out in the field serving not just our agents, but our communities.
So then if you're giving back, call it 200,000, it's definitely a culture
It's a culture.
that you guys have or have created within that organization
Sure.
to serve and to give.
It's a family.
Okay.
Really, it's a family. And, in real estate, no matter what brokerage you choose,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I know that people watch you from all over,
Sure.
and JP, we're one of many great options. But, the key thing to look for is, does this brokerage, this company that I work for, fit me?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make me feel good? Does it push me? Does it teach me? And that's the key piece that you're looking for, is the education, the comfort, the family, and that does their business philosophy match up with your personal philosophies?
Yeah, but an agent's going to sit there and talk about economics. They want to talk about, well, okay, that's great and all, but how much do I get?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
there's always that what's in it for me type
so
philosophy.
let's really talk about it.
Well, no, and I want to
we're-
know because I hear it. It sounds good, just like somebody recruiting me. It sounds good. What's in it for me? What do I get?
Yeah, well, 100% commission. So
Okay.
so this is really where we rock the boat, right? Is JP, so why am I giving all my money
Okay.
to some guy who's driving a Lamborghini, taking vacations,
I don't drive a Lamborghini.
and why am I doing that? This is my business,
Mhm.
and what are they doing for me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we really rocked the boat
Okay.
on that. So we are 100% commission structure, just a flat fee.
Okay, so it's a flat fee.
Yeah.
So the agent, and this is important to me because there's a lot of disruption that's going on and out there in the marketplace, and a lot of different types of companies that get in, whether it's in the real estate side of it, the mortgage side of it, and so really understanding companies is important because as I work with agents, right, this is a big portion of my business. I want to know the companies that are out there, what the value they provide to the agents, because those agents, I got a service I have to work with. And there are a lot of them that are, like you said, doing this kind of like part-time. And I have to help them write contracts. I have to help them do all these kind of things because they don't know any of that stuff, so they don't get the support.
Sure.
And then there are those that it seems like what you're saying, they're getting into an environment to where they have all the support and education, but they're also keeping the largest portion of the economics, so 100% of their
Sure.
their
This has
commission.
got to be a profitable business
For both sides, though.
for both sides.
Okay, so JPAR's making the money on the transaction, right? Is that what it is? So it's a transaction deal. So it only behooves him or the company itself to hire
Agents who
agents
produce.
who produce. So if you're hiring a JPAR agent, you then know that they're in a space where they are required to actually be in it full-time and produce.
Sure, and
Okay.
provide a quality service. We have
Okay.
standards. You won't see cell phone pictures on any of our listings.
Yep, see those.
So, I mean, yeah, so I think it's part of that. We have to serve you.
Okay.
We're a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
You don't work for us, right? We're all self-employed.
Yep. Yeah, you got 1,300 individual business owners out there. The way that I'm assuming
Sure.
the culture is built, you got to earn their loyalty every day,
Yeah.
right?
And, another point of difference in our brokerage
Okay.
is most offices are, old-fashioned. You come in, you've got a receptionist, and you've got a big copier, and you've got a bunch of new agents kind of buzzing around the office, and it all centralizes in this one spot.
Uh-huh.
And so if you're not up at the office, you're probably not learning anything,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But if you're up in an office all day, every day, are you selling real estate?
No. No, you're not.
So, your business needs to be mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 15 offices in the DFW area, and our agents have access to every single one of them.
Oh, nice.
So they
Okay.
get to, so maybe they've got a client in Fort Worth, or maybe they have a client in South Lake, or a client in Dallas. They can go meet those people there and have consultations and lunches, and that business can kind of move with them, which is a huge point of difference for us. But then most of our education is live streamed, done online, and then we have over 100 classes a month in person that you can go to. So really, you can fit your brokerage and your business to suit your business lifestyle.
I like
Does that
that.
make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, you also, though, as an organization, there's other things that you guys do, like a mentor type program where, there's always somebody there that can help acclimate them, I think, to the organization. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a mentor assigned to every agent that's brand new, or
Uh-huh.
maybe they're coming to us from a brokerage where they didn't have the right guidance, so maybe they didn't hit our minimum productivity standard, and so
Uh-huh.
we're going to partner them with a mentor that's going to advise them and go through our real estate playbook, which is our coaching system, that's going to set them on a path to success.
Okay.
And we monitor that, and they partner up for the first 3 transactions. So
Oh, cool.
to me, that's of huge value.
So they're kind of in their mentor partnership type role, and then once they pretty much have it down on those 3 deals, then they get to spread their wings and kind of go out.
Sure,
Can they
join
stay?
accountability groups
Right.
and join our coaching systems. Yeah, sure.
So they can stay under the mentor program,
If
or
that's
they?
something that they wanted, sure.
Oh wow, okay. And so that person then ultimately becomes responsible for their growth, their success.
Yeah.
But then they also have other things they can plug into.
Yeah, definitely. Choose your path.
Now, I did see on Facebook an announcement. JP actually made it, I think. But y'all building a headquarters here?
are.
Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that. What's going on there?
It's going to be a big corporate headquarters in Frisco. It's going to be a big, beautiful building. We
Uh-huh.
bought the land. It'll
Okay.
be ready to go in about 2020. Because our company is growing by the minute, it
Mm-hmm.
seems. We have big plans to go national very, very quickly.
Okay.
And so we needed a hub, a home base per se,
Mhm.
where some of our business partners and other affiliates could join us,
Mhm.
where we can do big corporate trainings and events and really house all of our staff, because we have a large staff within our company.
So right now, Texas
Texas
Okay.
and New Orleans, yes.
and New Orleans.
We just started a franchise department. So we have Howard Ashkenos, if
Yep.
he's watching, he's a rock star, love
Yep,
him.
I saw Howard yesterday. What's up,
Yeah,
man?
he's awesome.
Yep.
So he's helping take our brand national.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to be responsible for taking the brand on a national basis.
We were at the NAR conference last week
Okay.
for the first time. So
Uh-huh.
that was a really
National
big
Association
deal.
of Realtors, guys, NAR.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So that was our first exposure to on the national page.
So you obviously Texas dropped one in New Orleans or Louisiana somewhere in
In
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans,
New Orleans. Wow. Okay. And then his responsibility.
I'm planning a business trips
Oh yeah,
in there,
yeah.
by the way.
Howard, I'm going on that business trip with you.
Tax deductible.
So then we go out on a national basis. That's the kind of the plan.
That's the goal.
That's really awesome.
Go big or go home.
So Okay, so really quick, and I want to get into other stuff, but if somebody
Sure.
wants to reach out to you, how do they get a hold of you? Give me some digits, give me some numbers, all that kind of stuff.
Give me a call at 817-583-2882, or you can email careers@jpar.net.
Careers@jpar.net. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into kind of like the characteristics, from an agent's perspective. Like,
Sure.
like what's the best what kind of characteristics do they need to have to be successful in this very competitive space? Because it is.
I think you need one tool:
Okay.
confidence.
Oh, interesting. Confidence.
Confidence. You can have your master's degree,
Yep.
right? You can have years of experience in a cubicle. You can have beautiful clothes. You can drive a fancy car. But if you're not confident in your ability to serve, your business is going to go like this.
Yeah.
Because people are attracted to confidence. So when you go, because this is a one-on-one business, right? So your space, you're going to be on the phone. You're going to be in people's personal space. You're going to be walking around, getting to know them, and they want to know that you're good at what you're going to do.
Right.
So I guess there's a little bit of fake it till you make it, right? So for a brand new agent coming in, they've got to come in knowing that if they don't have the knowledge yet,
Right.
they're going to get it.
I get what you said, the fake it to the make it type deal when you get into like the numbers of real estate and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think what you're really meaning to say, because I don't
I don't like
believe,
that term, fake it till you make it. But
I agree. But I know what you're you're saying with that. But what you're talking about is confidence isn't fake it till you make it. Confidence is something you have and it's developed and built over a lifetime, so that when you get into something that may be new, you have the confidence that you can succeed.
Sure.
And so I'll use enthusiasm tied to the confidence, because that enthusiasm is kind of the fake it to the make it piece, because it is contagious.
It is.
Right? A new agent, a new car salesman, a new telecom salesman, whatever salesperson, whatever this is going to be, you can win a deal over somebody that has 22 years in the business by bringing confidence and enthusiasm to the table, because that is very contagious, and people want to be around that. They're attracted to that part. So if you just rest on, wow, I got 22 years in the business, I have all these accolades and blah, 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 you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat by that rookie like you who went out there and beat them.
Yeah,
right?
I have to tell you, because I meet with new realtors all the time, and I love rookies, because I ask them, why do you want to sell real estate, right? What's going on the screen there?
Oh, I don't know. Brandy might have to check her screen.
Yeah.
I think it just flipped around to the
to the back of the computer.
back of the computer. Sorry, guys. Not sure what happened there. Hey, we're back.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
I wonder how long it's been on that. I just literally glanced up.
Oh, did we go offline?
Yeah, I think so.
We did. That's okay.
Interesting. Okay, now we're back, guys.
We're back. Hey, sorry about that. So we're talking about why rookie realtors are amazing.
Right.
I love brand new realtors.
Okay.
Because they're passionate and because they're excited. And that passionate, hungry realtor is going to work so hard because they're proving something. They have something to prove. So, well, not all of them. Okay, so I talk to some realtors when I'm interviewing them, and I want to make sure they're hungry. If they're not hungry and giving off that sense of hunger, I don't know if they're going to be a good fit in real estate.
Yeah, they got to know why they're getting into it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, a lot of people say, "Well, I'm getting into it because I want more flexibility in my schedule," or let's just use that. I want more flexibility in our schedule. The reality is, you get into this business, and if you're really going to be successful in this business, you're working 7 days a week.
Sure.
I mean, there is. I mean, it is. I mean, at 22 years, I still work 7 days, right? I mean, it's just part of what we do. Now, granted, there's a lot of ways you carve that out, and a lot of
Time
ways you
blocking
deflect and
is key.
defer, and time blocking on all those kind of things. But the reality is, you don't get in it to work less.
Sure.
You get in it because you're going to have to work more, but just because if you have a certain why, and if it's about impacting people's lives, I mean, then it never stops. That's the fun part. I mean, if it's just really about impact, then it'll never stop.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. It kind of keeps you excited and motivated to get up every day.
Yeah.
So
every client's a new job. I mean, honestly, it's
Right.
such a different experience with every client, and that's what I love about real estate, is that it's ever changing.
Yeah, and I'll even say that even your client, not even your client, like I've changed, over my 22 years and moved more to the mindset of being a media company over a mortgage company.
Okay.
because I focus really on impact. So if you follow me, you see all the content we produce,
Yep.
and put out there on a daily basis. I hope that I'm reaching people, and I do. I see people from California, from Canada, from the UK, I mean, people all over that'll connect and engage and comment on stuff that I can't do there alone. I'm not doing there alone in Canada or somewhere else. And they're like, oh my gosh, thanks so much. It's an impact.
They're
One
learning
person,
from
they
you.
learned it, and so they're not my client, but yet I don't measure it that way. I measure it based on, hey, did I serve somebody? Did I impact at least one person a day? And then that helps me know that, okay, my content going forward will always, it's always going to be that way. It's always going to be great. I'm always going to be hungry and focused on doing stuff like that.
It also drives you to keep finding something that's interesting to say.
Uh-huh.
Because the real estate business, whether you want to admit it or not, you're only as good as last month's sale or last year's sales.
Mortgages is very
Real
interesting.
estate. Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves to talk about income, assets, and credit.
Oh my God, it's so interesting. But Bob, you've got something different and something interesting to say, and that's why I'm drawn to you, and that's why we love partnering with you guys.
Yeah.
Because
you.
you're delivering value
Mhm.
daily.
Mhm.
So it's not I taught a class for you 6 months ago and it was great. You're continuing to feed your agents that work with you and your vendor partners with you, and you're continuing to feed us information and knowledge bombs and help inspire us and our agents.
Well, thank you.
So we love that. That's why I love Bob.
Well, thank you. It is. I really appreciate that, and that does go back to kind of where I was. It is just about impact. So you have to give without expectation of receiving something.
Sure.
But the more you give, ultimately you attract the people that will just give back.
And that's not just lenders, that's realtors.
That's just in general.
That's just
just in general. If you're
Yeah.
putting stuff out there, and you guys follow me enough to know that when I say this so much, if you give with an expectation, then you've already lost.
Sure.
Because you can't build a personal brand, you can't go out there and build your business just on that sheer fact that I'm going to give somebody something and I want something back. When you get into social media, you get into branding, you get into educating, you got to be willing to give all of your information, all your knowledge, all that stuff away, and ultimately enough people are going to be attracted to that type of culture, philosophy, sharing, wisdom, all that stuff, that they're going to be like, hey, I think you're the guy that I want to do business with.
Sure.
Or, hey, you really helped me on a loan that I had. You didn't get to do the loan, but I really appreciated it. And ultimately, I get business from them, and I didn't do their loan, but I still get the referrals from that. So, yeah, it's and I appreciate the compliment on that, because it's just what I love to do. I love to educate. I love to give
you've
back.
inspired me to keep it fresh. So I feel like you're super fly, super fresh. I feel like we should show you.
Oh my
orange
gosh,
Pumas.
my orange Pumas, yeah, there you go.
I love your. I'm doing Converse today. Let me see. I've
Oh
got
look!
red
Oh
Converse
wow!
on.
See,
Yeah, with my
we
suit.
are all like Christmased out, guys.
Yeah, I should have worn my green Converse. and had
Yeah,
some-
my kids are probably laughing at that if you say I'm super fly, because they look at me like, yeah, Dad, you're.
Well, does that date me? Because I was like very much a '90s.
I have no idea. I don't even. That's kind of funny.
No, I love it. So you've actually re-inspired me to come from a place of servitude and knowledge. So, I think ego is our biggest competitor
Mm-hmm.
in our lives and in
Yep.
our businesses.
Yep.
And, you've shown me, and with my new role in my company,
Mm-hmm.
I've been completely inspired. Mark Johnson, our COO.
Yep.
If any of you guys, even if you're not with JP and Associates, if you get a chance
Reach out to them. Yeah.
to talk to Mark Johnson, please do. He inspires me on the daily. I mean, sometimes it's just one little sentence he'll say, and I'm like, ping, the light bulb goes off.
It's just bam.
It's his bam,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
And, maybe I question it or something, and he says, just do it.
Mhm.
Just do it. Come, Sydney,
Yeah.
just do it. And I'm like, you sure? He's like, Sydney. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go do it. So I'll go do it, his knowledge bomb that he gave me, and I get results. So, I mean, I think that's how you find your good fit, when
Right.
you've got someone that you can reach out to you that inspires you,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be with your brokerage or your your personal coach that you hire or your vendor partners. You know, I make sure that my team, which is also just my vendor
100%.
partners.
There you go. This is a good truth bomb right
Yeah,
here.
I make sure that they inspire me, that they bring value to me,
Mm-hmm.
and they become my almost executive board, is
Yep,
how I like
yep.
to view my vendor partners. So
Yep.
I've got my diehard, I'm loyal to
Mm-hmm.
my lenders and my title reps and my insurance guys.
Mhm.
You know, Craig DeWitt with Texas Classic Insurance. Hope you see this. And I'm telling
Craig.
you, like, I'm diehard loyal. And,
Right.
you know, I've been really excited to partner with some new amazing vendors like
Mm-hmm.
yourself that are pushing me and pushing the boundaries of my business. And that's how you become a success, is surrounding yourself with other successful, inspiring people.
Absolutely. You need to put people around you, guys, that continuously push you, move you forward, and get you to a place where you become comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, for me, that's been a challenge for me because I always love being uncomfortable. So like I can't find enough people to put around me that are like, hey, you need to continue to push yourself, because I'm like always going to be that guy that just tries to go so far to being uncomfortable to where when I come back to what I do, I can
Sure.
do it a lot differently. So I look for other people that are outside of our space that are, you know, just whether they're social media influencers, they're in different industries, that,
Yeah.
you know, get me to a place where I'm really uncomfortable, but I know that it's some place I need to be. And it brings me back to okay, hey, well, how can I use that to bring it into my business? And I think you've done just that, and I would encourage everybody there that's watching to find your board of advisors, your board of directors, your advisory board, whatever you want to call it, and really evaluate who you have around you.
Sure.
And are they pushing you, right? Are they moving you forward? Are they challenging you to go to places that make you uncomfortable yet bring you back to a space where you could be comfortable implementing and executing it so that you can serve more people?
That's business 101, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very business 101. I think that's what new agents, I think that they overlook some of the foundations. They go right into, give me leads.
Yeah,
Give me
well,
leads,
yeah,
give
yeah,
me
yeah,
leads, give me leads. But first, I like to teach agents, set your business up.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to do our accounting? How are we
Sure.
going to, let's introduce you to a
You're a
P&L.
business owner. You're a business
Yeah,
owner.
let's introduce you to what the heck a P&L is, because everybody should have a P&L,
Right.
right? Who's going to be your advisory panel? Who are going to be your vendors? So, you know, there's got to be this business mindset to real estate. Or you could make $250,000 and crash and burn because you don't have something that's systematic and repeatable,
Love that.
right?
Love that.
So that's when I'm talking to agents, that's what I like to talk to them about, is
So building
foundations first.
Understand the foundation, right? Because you got to
Yeah.
build it on a solid foundation. Understand your foundation, how you're going to then grow that, who you're putting around you to help you grow.
Yeah.
Who's going to challenge, who's going to move you forward. And that way, one, you don't burn out.
Yeah.
Right? Two, then you can create a repeatable process and a
Yeah.
system to serve others and serve more people. So agents that are thinking about building a team, what advice would you quickly give them?
Build it slowly.
Okay.
Take your time
In the hiring process?
in the hiring process.
Okay.
Yeah. So I talked to some agents that are like, I want a mega team. I want 25 agents, and then they're all going to sell real estate for me, and it's all
Sure.
about me, right? So I think that you have to be ready for that team emotionally to serve and raise up a team. And you've got to build your support systems first, your CRMs, your lead systems, your follow-up systems. All of those systems have to be in place before you build a team.
You got it. When you start, you said something there, build a team for me. And I think if you're going to do that, I think, again, you're going to be on the path to failure at that point when you're just building it for yourself. You really have to look at this and say, I'm going to bring people on. One, why am I bringing people on? But if you're bringing them on, you have to understand their needs, wants, and goals, and desires, and dreams,
Sure.
so that you can make sure that, because you become responsible for that. You're responsible to them now to help them reach their goals. So now it becomes more about them and less about you, right? When you
Yeah.
take that next step, right? So I mean, you
100%.
right, you got to go there, and then, you know, you got to work every day to earn the loyalty of that team member, right? I mean, yeah, you hired them, and you're there to make sure that they reach their goals, but then there's that part of culture, kind of like what you guys have within JP. You know, you got to really look at how you're earning
Sure.
the agent's loyalty or the team member's loyalty, mentorship, you know, training, charitable type things, culture, all that
Yeah.
type of stuff.
Definitely.
But
But
then,
first steps first, though,
uh-huh,
is that foundation's got to be built. So your first step isn't a buyer's agent. Your first step is an admin or a transaction coordinator.
yeah,
So within JP and Associates, we have on-staff transaction coordinators, so you can get full contract to close service
oh wow,
from our
okay,
brokerage for only $300.
okay,
And they are the best.
Mhm, mhm.
They don't just do documents for you. I mean, they're on top of the clients, helping you continue that relationship. I mean, that's your first step in
Right.
any business. So if an agent is with another brokerage and they're doing 20 homes a year or even 15 homes a year, I mean, you need a transaction coordinator.
yeah,
You don't need to be doing admin work.
correct,
Your job is to generate business
hmm
and to serve.
correct.
Your job is not to
Well,
submit paperwork or
sure. I mean, all that stuff is very, very important,
Yeah.
but we're just shifting highest and best use skill sets,
yeah,
right? It's very important that gets done. Like my team, I defer and deflect a lot of stuff to my team, all very important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they're better at it than I am, and which allows me then to focus my highest and best use on the skills that I really like to put out there, which is generating, right?
Yeah.
You know, creating enough influence, enough attention on the brand so that we get more impact, more
Yeah.
business opportunities.
it's all about dollar per hour productivity.
Hmm.
And you're doing your highest and best use in your business by being the face of your company
Correct.
and by talking with your agents and educating them on loan products,
Yep,
correct?
correct. Absolutely.
My highest and best use as a real estate agent
Mhm.
is to be on the phone. That's a strength of mine. I
Mm-hmm.
am a killer lead converter. So if any of you guys are out there and you struggle to convert online leads, call me. I'm a boss
Cool.
on the phone.
Awesome.
Okay, so we all have our gifts
Yeah,
that we're
yeah,
good at.
yeah.
Actually, I have a piece of artwork. I need to take a picture and text it to you in my kitchen because I'm all about inspirational art and things
Right,
like that around
yeah.
my house. And it's a quote by Pablo Picasso that said, "The purpose of life is to identify your gifts and then to give them away."
Okay.
Right? So
yeah.
I truly don't think that you have reached a point of self-care, self-knowledge until you've identified what your gifts are. Some people have the gift of gab in
Mhm,
person. Some
mhm.
people are presenters. Some people are really, really good at researching things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to identify what your gifts are. And then you play to those gifts, and what are your weaknesses, maybe you delegate those out,
100%.
right? So that's something that we like to talk about in JP a lot, is how to build that out, delegate. And right now as a company, which I'm sure you're doing as well, everybody should be doing this, is we're talking about business planning for next year.
Oh yeah, yeah. That stuff. Yeah, that's. I'm already into
Should be like
2019.
November. Yeah,
I'm already
November
into
is really-
2019 right now. In my mind, I know it's. A lot of times I have to ask the team, what month is this? Because
Right.
if we're in November,
We're working on first quarter.
I'm already looking at February, March, April because I know that's the activity that's already been created that's generating that
Yeah.
type of business.
We sent out our business planning modules several weeks ago for our
Mhm.
company, so we're hoping that our agents have all started working on their plans. We're starting to do workshops within our brokerage to help agents work on their business plans. So that's my biggest thing. I talk to agents all across the country who call me and kind of follow me on Facebook, and I say, well, what are you doing for next year?
Right.
Let's talk about what's next.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your numbers?
Mm-hmm.
How many
Well-
houses did you sell? What's your volume? I think you've got to be able to know. And I was actually just talking to one of my agents on my team, and I think he was getting a little frustrated with me last week because I was, I'm all about accountability
Sure.
and accountability checks.
Uh-huh.
And you should know. So I say, how many deals do you have in for the year?
Right.
You should be able to call it in
Mhm.
off the top of your head.
Yep.
How many leads are you working
Mhm.
right now that are active? How many buyers do you have under buyer contract right now?
Mhm.
Buyer rep right now? How many
Mhm.
lead closings do you have coming up? So that's all data that you have to constantly be. So when I talk about my morning,
Right.
look at my morning goals that I have. I mean, that's what I'm looking at is I'm trying to find where my numbers are and what I'm going to do today to set my day up for success, and what do I have to do for the rest of the week. So,
I love that.
and then obviously we're working on 2019 already.
Yep.
So what am I doing now that's going to help me in the first quarter of my business? Right?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, what are you doing today? And
What
I'm
are you
all
doing
when I look at goals. Goals are great. You got to have them. I'm more interested in what my daily activity looks like, because I know that if I can monitor my daily activity, what am I doing on a daily basis
Yeah.
that is going to be productive and will ultimately what am I doing daily? It's going to take care of the goals.
Sure.
I mean, if I know I'm not doing 10 times the work that I need to be doing on a daily basis, my goals will never be reached.
Yeah.
Right? So just monitor your daily stuff, make sure it's productive, make sure it's around the right things, whether it's influence, it's education, it's presentations, it's how many people you're going to talk to, whatever it is, break it down into that from that big number, right? Break it down into something daily,
Sure.
because that's what we can control. Everything is controlled on a daily
I
basis.
can control what I do today.
Exactly. People get so bogged down with my annual number or my
Yeah.
monthly or my quarterly. I'm just telling you, man, I've done this enough over 22 years. Those don't matter. Okay, you just focus on what you're doing on a daily basis, and ultimately, if you do that, those monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual goals will be there. Just make sure that those things that you say daily are 10 times what you think they need
Yeah.
to be.
I think if you don't plan it out then at 2 o'clock when you kind of not sure what you're doing next in
Yeah.
your day, it's awfully tempting to run to Target. Or as a real estate agent, take a nap, or do something that's non-productive in your business. But if you have in the morning, every day, your entire day planned out.
Yep.
So I practice time blocking in my world. And time blocking, every agent, I think, should use it, because
Right.
otherwise our lives can be consumed by real estate. And so I know if I'm going to look at my calendar, what I'm doing at 2 o'clock today.
Right. I love that.
I'm going to be on the phone at 2 o'clock
And
today.
the more you time block, the more free time you have.
Sure.
Right? I mean, that's what my wife and I talk about this all the time. She's like, man, how do you get all this stuff done? How do you have all this time, right, to yourself sometimes? And I'm like, I'm just all scheduled out. Everything I have, I know when things start, when they finish, and if I have a 10 minutes, it feels like it's 30 minutes, because it's 10 minutes to me, right? 10 minutes for me to take care of things, or 20 minutes over here. And it just allows me then to refocus and then start over. And I mean, if you don't block, then you wake up and you feel like your day owns you,
Sure.
and you don't own the day.
Can I tell you that when I was a real estate agent full time, now that obviously I'm in a different role,
Sure.
I even scheduled my showers.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even kidding you. Like, because I have children and I have, a competitive cheerleader at home, and
Right.
I've got a little tiny dancer at home. Not to mention my husband's a firefighter, so he's gone at work for 48 hours at a time. So a lot of this I'm doing on my own.
On your own. Yeah.
Right? I have to be efficient with my scheduling. I have to. I have no choice but to be efficient with my scheduling. And I found that the things that I left off was me.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, and I would be
Yep.
like, oh, goodness,
Yep.
this is maybe way TMI. It's been 3 days since I've taken a shower.
Right. I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. And so then I started scheduling in time to go get my nails done, and my husband even, okay, let's just be honest. It's got triggered because this was about maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. My husband sat me down and he said, babe, I'm so proud of you and the successes you're having business. I can see you're really passionate about this career, but we got to talk, babe.
It's taking over.
I was like, he's going to divorce me.
Uh-huh.
And really, I actually thought, because when I was committing, 90, 100 hours a week to work,
Uh-huh.
it was a little difficult in
yeah.
my marriage, right? But he said, I need you to put in some time for you,
Yeah.
and I need you to put in some time for me.
That's a very wise man.
He goes, Sydney, you're looking a little bit of a mess,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And you listened.
And I listened, and I said, oh my God. He goes, when's the last time we had a date? I said, I don't know,
Right.
right?
Yep.
I mean, that's a big deal,
Yep.
because, your family, it comes way before your business.
Yep.
And I think I was putting my business ahead of my family. And so that was this huge epiphany that I had, and it made me just really stop and reevaluate. So now I do lunch dates with my husband.
Yep.
I schedule lunch dates. It's hard to do dinner dates, or really, because then you've got to get a babysitter, and now it's not $100 night, it's a $300 night.
Yep.
Right, so we schedule in our lunch dates. I schedule in time to go get my nails done. I mean, I put that all into my calendar to make sure. So
I think that's
Yeah.
very powerful, and it's stuff that even Jennifer and I work together, right? And so it even creates another level of challenge, because when you do go on those dates, you know, do you talk about business or not talk about business? Because we work together, we live, I mean, all that stuff, right? And so we've laid our groundwork down, because, again, very smart of your husband to be able to come to you to say, hey, take care of you, which, you know, that took a lot of wisdom and a lot of confidence in your relationship, to where you would be able to accept something like that, and then good for you to be able to recognize and say, you know what, they're right, and then execute on that, right? Because that makes everything so much more healthy, life, business, relationship, all that, right? Jen and I have gone through a lot of the same things. I mean, heck, I still work, you know, like that, but you have to find time to make it for your family and for your kids, because ultimately that's why we're here. I mean, that's why I do what I do, is more for them than anything else.
I'm a high D. If you know, follow your disc profiles,
Sure.
I'm a high D. I've been called a bulldog at times. I'm kind of aggressive. I'm a go when it comes to business, and flat out, I'm a workaholic. I am. I mean, I started working at 14 at Party City because I wanted designer jeans, and my mom wouldn't buy them for me.
Right.
So I said, well, how am I going to get these Gap jeans? Because all about Gap back in the day, right? And she said, we need a
Mine was Gerbeau.
yeah. How are you going to go?
Or Jordache.
Yeah. So I didn't have a car. My mom's like, well, I'm not driving you, because my mom was a marketing executive at the time.
Okay.
And so I found a job that I could walk to at 14, and that started my passion for work at 14, right? So all I knew was to work. And so and it's funny because everybody's different, right? The personal stuff is always last for me. I have to actually work harder at the personal stuff than I do at the work.
Yeah, you know, and it's challenging. Like even with Jen, you know, and you know, she'll put me and the kids over her all the time. Like, I mean, she will always do things last for herself. And we always talk like, no, you got to go. I mean, you got to go do it for you first. I mean, you know, there's times when you got to put yourself first in decisions. You know, and you know, it's different, right? Especially for, you know, and for mom, let's say that has kids. I mean, it's all for them.
It's your mom,
right?
and it's about practices, and it's about dinner,
everything for
and
them, right?
that's the daily grind of a working parent.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with you today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has
Thanks,
been a lot of fun. I've learned some really powerful things about you, some honest and open things about you that I think hopefully you guys have been able to see her in a vulnerable state, and then with the mindset that it took to get to a point where you can overcome some of those types of challenges that we face in life. They're not failures, they're just failing forward moments.
They're what push you forward.
And exactly what push you forward, but it takes a mindset, going back to what you said in the very beginning, to really accomplish things in your personal, your professional, your life. So I really appreciate you sharing those things with me. I know that in your role with JP and Associates, you're going to do great, because you are about giving and sharing, and you do have that hustle mindset, because I know it's going to take a lot of work to continue to
building an empire.
To building an empire, right? To hit those goals, to hit those numbers, to bring in more agents that you can impact. So I know you're going to have to be working hard. I hope you find all the balance and harmony that you want in your life while you do that. Guys, thanks so much for giving us your eyes and ears today. Hopefully we shared some very valuable things that can impact your personal and professional lives. Please leave some comments. Let us know how we did. Thumbs up if we did great. Let me know if we didn't do what you expected. It's all going to be on me, not her. I'll do better next time. She did great. Other than that, man, have a great day. Go make somebody else's day even better. Take care.